The Beaches podcast is going to give you everything you want to know about a beach before you go there. I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to check out our website, www.sandee.com. Without further ado, let's get into the show.
Okay, so today we are trading in our usual stack of research papers and articles for something a little bit more, well, let's say tropical.
A little more sunshine in our research, perhaps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Today's deep dive is all about helping one of our listeners plan a trip to Hanalei, Hawaii.
Ooh, lucky them.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our listeners specifically requested a very detailed plan, and they even sent us some sources.
Inspiration material.
Exactly, inspiration material. I like that.
Yeah.
But to be totally honest, the sources are a little light on specifics.
Interesting.
Yeah, but, challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted, absolutely.
We're going to figure this out.
We can totally do this.
So Hanalei, it is. But where do we even begin? Planning a whole trip can feel kind of overwhelming.
Right, it can be, but I think the first thing we need to figure out is how are they getting there and where are they going to stay once they arrive?
Okay, that makes sense.
So most visitors fly into Luhu Airport. That's the closest one to Hanalei. And then from there, renting a car is probably the best way to get around and see everything.
Yeah, renting a car gives you the freedom to explore at your own pace.
Right, exactly.
So I was thinking maybe we could focus on finding some amazing resorts in Hanalei.
Resorts are nice.
Right, pampered vacation vibes.
Yeah, totally.
But I did notice that a lot of the sources that our listeners sent us, they were really interested in Hanalei's history and culture.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I was also reading in a forum that parking at some of the popular spots in Hanalei can be a real pain.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, so maybe instead of a sprawling resort, we should look for like a locally owned guest house or cottage, something a little closer to town.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Really?
Yeah, it'll give them a much more authentic experience.
Okay, I'm convinced. Guest house it is.
Perfect. Now let's talk activities.
Yes, the fun stuff.
Right. And I know from the sources that they sent, our listener is a big foodie.
Oh, me too.
And Hanalei has this amazing culinary scene. There are tons of restaurants and cafes to try.
Oh, I bet.
And one article actually suggested taking a cooking class.
What?
Yeah, to learn how to prepare some traditional Hawaiian dishes.
That's way more exciting than just exploring the local cuisine.
I know, right?
Okay, I'm adding cooking class to our list.
Okay, and speaking of exciting things, the sources also mentioned hiking the Kauai Trail.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
It's this incredible trail along the Na Pali coast.
And one travel guide called it one of the most beautiful but challenging trails in the world.
Oh, wow.
Do you think our listener is up for that?
That's a good question. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, especially if they are looking for a more relaxing beach vacation.
Right.
It requires permits and some serious planning.
Maybe we should suggest something a little more manageable.
How about kayaking?
Ooh, kayaking.
Yeah, they could take a guided kayak tour of Hanalei Bay.
They'd still get to see those amazing views in the Na Pali coast, right?
Oh, absolutely, but without the strenuous hike.
Okay, kayaking it is. And maybe they can save the Kauai Trail for a future trip, when they're feeling more adventurous.
That's good.
So I know we have to talk about budgeting, but honestly, I'm already picturing myself lounging on Hanalei Bay with a Mai Tai in hand.
A little pre-trip daydreaming is always a good thing.
Exactly.
But yes, let's talk budget.
All right, back to reality.
So flights and accommodation, those are going to be the biggest expenses, of course. And then after that, you'll need to factor in activities, food, transportation.
It all adds up, doesn't it?
It does, especially in a place like Hanalei.
Okay, so we've got our flights, our accommodation, our activities. What about packing? Are there any Hanalei-specific essentials that we should mention?
Yes, absolutely. So reef-safe sunscreen is an absolute must.
Why is that?
Well, it protects both your skin and the coral reefs, which are very delicate.
Oh, that makes sense. We want to be responsible travelers.
Exactly.
Okay, what else?
And if they're going kayaking, I would definitely recommend a waterproof phone case.
Oh, yeah, for those amazing ocean views.
Exactly. You don't want to ruin your phones.
Speaking of amazing views, I get those sources have some great photography tips, right?
They do, actually.
Like any hidden spots or special angles for the perfect Hanalei shot.
Well, one travel blogger recommended heading to Hanalei Pier at sunrise.
How?
They said you get these breathtaking photos of the pier silhouetted against the pastel sky.
That sounds incredible.
And they also suggested packing a polarizing filter for the camera.
What does that do?
It enhances the colors of the water and the sky, makes them really pop.
Oh, cool. I'm learning so much about Hanalei.
Me too. And what's really interesting is that all of these details, from the type of accommodation to the type of sunscreen they pack, they all contribute to the overall experience.
That's a really good point. It's not just about ticking things off a list.
Mm-hmm.
It's about creating a journey that's really tailored to our listeners' interests.
Exactly. And that actually brings me to my final thought for our listeners.
Okay, I'm listening.
As you continue to plan this amazing adventure, ask yourself, what will make this Hanalei experience uniquely mine?
Ooh, I like that.
Let that question guide your research, your choices, and ultimately your journey.
That is such great advice. So to our listener, happy planning. May your Hanalei adventure be filled with delicious food, breathtaking views, and memories that will last a lifetime.
Absolutely.
And that's a wrap for another deep dive.
Until next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show, and be sure to tune in next week for your favorite episode about some of the best beaches and beach information in the world.